We are given a 2D matrix containing zeros and ones, and from this matrix we need to find out the largest square containing only ones and return its area. So what we will do is we will traverse through the matrix one time from the top left cell till the bottom right cell. And during traversal, if the value of the cell is 1, then we will analyze whether this particular cell, when combined with the neighboring cells, can give a square, valid square. For example, for this particular cell, we have discovered these 3 neighboring squares. And among these 3 squares, this is the smallest square, and which is the one limiting a bigger square formation. So we can conclude that among 3 neighbors, the square with smallest side will decide the side of the new square. Also, if any of the neighbor's cell value is 0, then we cannot combine this particular cell with the neighboring cells and we cannot form a square. So we can only have a square of side 1 in that case. So since we need previously discovered square sizes for reference, we must create a new matrix of same size for storing the maximum size of the squares found out at each cell. We will name this matrix square sizes. So for each cell in the given matrix, we will have a corresponding cell in the new matrix for storing the maximum side of the square found out. For example, for this particular cell, we know that the size of the square formed is 3. So in the corresponding cell in the new matrix, we will store that information. So by the end of the traversal, we know what is the maximum side of the square present in the matrix. And we know that area of square is given by side into side. So we will just return that. Now let's code the solution. Here what we need to find out first is the maximum square side. So we will have this variable max square side initially set to 0. And we need to return the area of the largest square. So we know the area of a square is given by side into side. So we will just return max square side into max square side. For traversing through the given matrix, we need to know the number of rows and number of columns. So we will store this information in R and C. Also during traversal, we need to find out what is the maximum square size found out in each cell. So for storing that information, we will create a new matrix called square sizes, which is initially filled with zeros. Now let's go through each and every cell of the given matrix. If the value of the current cell is 1, then we know that we have found a square of side 1. But also we need to check whether there are any neighbors which can be combined with this particular cell and which can form a bigger square. So we'll be storing this information into the new matrix we have created, into the respective cell of the new matrix. And we know that the smallest neighboring square is the one limiting the square formation. So we will write a function to get the minimum square among the neighbors. This function will return the minimum among the previously discovered 3 neighbors. Also here we need to put an edge case check. That is, if we are on the first row or first column of the given matrix, then in that case, at least one neighbor will be out of the matrix. So in that case, that is the limiting one, right? So we will just return 0 in that case. And during each iteration itself, we will check whether we have found a larger square. So during each iteration, we will just update the value of max square side variable. Let's try running the program. Yeah, it's working. See you in the next video.